So there's three routes of entry to the GMC register for IMG doctors. You can either sit PLAB, or you can sit a Royal College or postgraduate qualification, or you can come through the MTI scheme. In this video, we're going to talk to you about the postgraduate or Royal College examination route. Now this route is aimed at more senior doctors. So if you're watching this and you're an ST3 level doctor, a registrar doctor, maybe even a consultant or a specialist overseas, then this is going to be the route for you. The most well-trodden path to GMC registration is actually the PLAB examinations, but the PLAB exams are more suited to a doctor looking to come in at an F2 or ST1-2 level. So the Royal College option or the postgraduate qualification option offers something for more senior doctors. So if you've specialised for a few years in your particular niche, so if you specialise as a medicine doctor, for example, it's probably going to be a much more applicable exam for you to study for, prepare for, pay for, to come in through the MRCP route than it would be to come through the PLAB route. And that's why the GMC use that to recognise that doctors have the clinical knowledge and skills of a senior or specialist or registrar or trainee level doctor, and they grant access using those examinations. It's important to distinguish that the UK has lots of Royal Colleges which are UK centric, but there are also a load of qualifications that are recognised as equivalent to those from overseas as well. So we'll put a full list up underneath this video, but one or two to look out for are exams like EDAIC and EDIC for anaesthesiologists and ICU doctors, which could be a lot more accessible if you're looking to study for them overseas rather than having to come to the UK, where FRCA is slightly less accessible for overseas applicants. If you're on the fence between sitting PLAB and the Royal College exams, I think it's important to note that they are probably both equally as accessible. It just depends on the level of doctor that you are. So if you're sitting PLAB, it's going to be two parts. You're going to have a written part, you're going to have a structured OSCE in-person part as well. Most of the Royal Colleges follow a very, very similar path. So most of them have either an MCQs, multiple choice questions at the beginning, or short answer questions, maybe in two parts, and then a structured OSCE in-person exam. Most of the written exams you're going to be able to access around the world. Most of the OSCE exams you're going to have to travel to access a test centre for those. So there really isn't too much to choose between them. The Royal College exams tend to be a little bit more expensive, I guess owing to the fact that they are more prestigious, aimed at more senior doctors. So there's a slight factor to play there, but of course that means that you're going to have access to a higher paying job when you enter the NHS. So you've got to weigh up the pros and cons of both, but on the whole I would advise if you're a more junior doctor, go for the PLAB route. If you're a more senior doctor, go for the Royal College or postgraduate qualification route. So once you've checked in the list below that your postgraduate qualification or Royal College qualification is recognised, or you've sat each part of the exam and completed them, you're probably wondering which other things you're going to need for the GMC itself. Now the big one, the bit that people struggle with sometimes, is passing their IELTS or OET. So you're going to need to accompany your postgraduate qualification or your Royal College qualification with a proof of English language skills. This might seem slightly counterintuitive because the exams that you've just prepared for, of course, are sat and taught in English, but you do need to accompany it alongside it as well. So you're either going to need to go for IELTS, which tests kind of general level of English, with a band of 7 and 7.5 overall, so 7 in each element and 7.5 overall. Or you can come through the OET route, which requires grades of B as a minimum in each element: reading, writing, speaking and listening. The usual path is for people to choose OET because it tests occupational English. So you're given English assessments based on medical language and medical knowledge. So it's a bit more accessible for IMG doctors and arguably quite similar to some of the stuff you would do in the latter parts of the exams that you're sitting for your clinical skills as well. You're then going to need your certificates of good standing, your primary medical qualification, which needs to be a recognised one by the GMC, so check that really early on. They've got a section on their website where you can check it. You're going to need proof of your internship, and of course the usual stuff like your passport and a declaration that you're fit to practice medicine as well. So it's not just gaining access to the GMC register that you're going to get from Royal College Access. If you do study for one of the Royal College examinations, you become a member of a prestigious club which gives you access to discounts on things like their own events, their own training, their own seminars. There's also a whole host of materials that you can use from their website as well. So it's worth sitting not just for the fact that you become into the NHS, but to become part of a worldwide recognised prestigious institution. If you have gone down that route or you're looking to, then please do get in touch with us. We'd be more than happy to help with your journey to working in the NHS. BDI Resourcing have helped over 1,500 doctors join over 100 NHS trusts in the last few years. So we've got lots of opportunities for international doctors at the moment, and we would love to hear from you. We'll put our contact details up at the end of the video.